I'm the Cartoon Gentleman, bringing you Organized Chaos. And today, we look into what many consider to be one of the founders of what YouTube is today. I am of course talking about Rooster Teeth. To the -5 people who don't know what Rooster Teeth is, they're the ones who made such classic shows such as Red vs. Blue and RWBY, which I've mentioned them before in other reviews. But much like a lot of other people, I failed to capitalize on one of the little gems that they've made, a little show called Camp Camp. And let me tell you people, I'm actually pretty excited about doing this review. Yarg, matey! What? Ye be certain you want to be going through with this, gentlemen. Going through with what? I don't know what you're talking about. With this here review on Camp Camp. It says on ye schedule you're supposed to be doing a review on Dan Versus. Oh, come on, Dan Versus? Dan Versus of all shows? Nobody cares about Dan Versus. Camp Camp is something that people actually care about. Yarg, that may be true, matey. However, do enough people know about ye show of Camp Camp? Oh, I'm sure more people care about Camp Camp than Dan Versus. Yeah, what y'all here talking about? Okay, quick Tuna Presley. What's better, Dan Versus or Camp Camp? Yo, Camp Camp, but Dan Versus, just kind of the same show, right? What? They are not the same show. How dare you insinuate that? Camp Camp is so much better than Dan Versus. Well, it's just the same premise. Yo. Yarg, I really don't have any idea what he's saying. I'm with Deadbeer here. You're gonna have to elaborate a little bit more. Look here more closely, yo. Okay, fine. Dan Versus is about an egocentrical, selfish little prick who is a total waste of a human being, who in every episode is centered around him trying to take revenge on anyone or anything that pisses him off. And I mean anyone or anything. In the first episode, he tried to take revenge on a werewolf that scratched his car. In another episode, he tried to take revenge on a mummy that stole his toilet paper. In another episode, he tried to take revenge on a family of squirrels that kept him up in the morning by nuking them. Even in the show, his anger is compared to an angry crocodile with a toothache being poked repeatedly by a sharp stick. And this is the show's words, not mine. And accompanying this vile, wretched piece of filth of a human being are Chris and Elise, his friends/drones. And while Dan's personality is so eccentrically bad and unlikable, that his friends stand out as being nothing more than cliché shells of characters. Chris being the stupid, always hungry slave of Dan, you know, the type that constantly thinks about food and doesn't really care about what's going on. Elise is the cliché of always being at odds with Dan. And she's also a secret agent, who's completely terrible at keeping her secret identity. Like, seriously, she practically broadcasts that she's a secret agent, but no one picks up on that. At the very least, the reason Elise is in the show at all is because she's Chris's wife. I don't know what she sees in him, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers. And that is literally the best summary I can possibly give on such a vile show. Aye, that be true, me hearty. But what of this Camp Camp you were all going on about? Ah, yes. Time for the meat of this review. Camp Camp is a show made by the fine people of Rooster Teeth. It's about a little asshole named Matt who's stuck at Camp Campbell for the summer with an annoying yet incredibly lovable counselor named David. Both of them are at odds with each other at all times because they're both counter opposites of each other. David is extremely optimistic
and borderlining sainthood with how forgiving and loving he is, while Max is a ridiculous pessimist. Max is also accompanied by two friends named Neil, who's a sciencey dork, a little cliche but still likable, and Nikki. Oh, Nikki. The best way I can describe her is think Animal from The Muppets made love to Kenpachi from Bleach, and their child was raised by Steve Irwin. Yeah, that's the best way to describe this wild child of a combo platter. She is literally nuts about nature.
So as you see, Tuna Presley, these shows have nothing in common. Although, now that I think about it...
Both shows feature a very negative protagonist that we don't really want to see win half the time. And both these protagonists always try to bring the rest of the world down to their level. The only difference is Dan does it to take revenge on anyone or anything, while Max does it to try to simply make David, who I might also add may be the sperm of Jesus, come down to Earth into the real world and see that it's a rotten hellhole. Max is kind of a sadist.
Did somebody call? Oh, Satan, what are you doing here? I heard you say my name. No. I was calling somebody a sadist, not you. Oh, I see. Oh, what's wrong, buddy? I haven't been in a review for a while. Hey, cheer up. Hey, tell you what. Next time, I'll write you in. Really? Yeah, totally. I'll get Alan on it right away. Okay, thanks, bud. Say hi to Evelina for me.
Okay, so the idea is similar, but why is Cam Cam so much better? I personally believe it comes down to one thing, where they're both broadcast. It's true. Both shows are very cynical in their sense of humor, and they're assholes of a protagonist. But Camp Camp is an online show, seen via YouTube or the Rooster Teeth website, so they can be as ridiculous and crazy as they want to. But Dan Versus is on TV, which has restrictions on their content, and the fact that they're on a kids network, so even more restrictions are put on the show. So no matter how random or how many adventures they go on, or whatever they fight, they'll never be able to reach their full comedy potential because they'll always be held back by where they're being broadcast.
Dan Versus is definitely a show I'd enjoy a lot more if it was on the internet, or at the very least Comedy Central. That's where a show like Dan Versus belongs, not on the hub. Yarg, may it rest in peace.
But of course, that's Dan Versus' biggest problem. But what about Cam Camp? Well, I think Cam Camp's biggest problem is that it's unsure whether it wants to be a kid's show with an edge or an adult show with a child's sense of humor. Like, it's caught somewhere in the middle between Red vs. Blue and Ruby. But if I had to say which one it was trying to be, I'd say it would be the first one. But Camp Camp is still a very young show, and it has a lot of potential for growth and new ideas, new stories, new directions. It is still way better than most shows even on TV right now. And even with the 12 episodes of Season 1 that are out right now, it's still way above the league of Dan Versus. Due to its more free range in jokes, it has a lot more to get away with since it's online, and their stories are less predictable and pretentious. Seriously, you can watch one episode of Dan Versus and see all 3 of its seasons. Yeah, Dan Versus ran for 3 seasons. How the hell did that happen?
Yeah, don't you just hate it when they just do the same thing over and over and over again, and not really change anything, just have different characters maybe? Yeah, I know, that's the worst. Well...
But the biggest difference is to why Camp Camp is so superior to Dan Versus is the characters. Dan Versus has like 5 reoccurring characters, and none of them are really that funny, or interesting, or even likable. Meanwhile, Camp Camp has a variety of characters that are actually really hard not to like. He even made a little Hitler. That's right, Rooster Teeth somehow made Hitler more likable than all the characters on Dan Versus.
So, bottom line, Dan Versus is a show that should be forgotten in the stream of time because it was clearly made by someone who was trying to get their anger out on someone or something. And they just decided to put a story next to it. Well, Camp Camp is a must-watch show. If you love Rooster Teeth, why are you still here? Go check it out. So, I'm the Cartoon Gentleman, and I brought you Organized Chaos. Yarg, matey. Yes? Do you think Mr. Producer will be mad by you changing the script so much? It's still a review on Dan Versus. I just add a little bit more charm to it. Yarg, but you supposed to do one thing per show. I'm sure it won't matter. I mean, he doesn't really watch this stuff anyway. As long as nobody tells him about it, we should be fine.
I wouldn't be so confident, gentlemen. Ow! Ow! Can somebody help me up?